أصل نور من نور النخبة نوح وحام، نقل في أصلاب أجداده والأرحام. أصل نور من نور النخبة نوح وحام، نقل في أصلاب أجداده والأرحام. الله يا علام العرش والكرسي واللوح والأقلام، عبدك غريب في بحور النوم والأحلام. نوره بالظلام حسن الختام، ويكون الموت على الإسلام. نقل في أصلاب أجداده والأرحام.
One of al-Samman's fundamental teachings is his view on the pre-existence of Muhammad. So the notion of the pre-existence of Muhammad, by the way, was a hot debated, argumented topic that had been handled by Sufis and scholars, mainly those in the field of the philosophy of Tasawwuf, or the philosophical mysticism of Islam. So in this concern, al-Samman dedicated a rather short treatise to the subject of the metaphysical existence of Muhammad. This treatise is entitled الفتوحات الإلهية للتوجهات الروحية للحضرة المحمدية. Unlike his main work, النفحات الإلهية, this treatise neither refers to any Sufi sources such as Ibn Arabi, فصوص الحكم, or الفتوحات المكية, or الجيلس, الإنسان الكامل, nor mentions any spiritual masters. It seems that al-Samman was inspired by a work of al-Burhanpuri, mainly التحفة المرسلة إلى روح النبي, which is dedicated to the Prophet. al-Samman's فتوحات الإلهية للتوجهات الروحية seems to be devoted to the Prophet too, although unlike التحفة المرسلة, which is more oriented to the topic of the divine existence, al-Samman's work seems to focus more on the cult adoration of the Prophet, as can be seen from the second part of its title, التوجهات الروحية, rather than on the metaphysical logos of Muhammad itself. Hence, for al-Samman, the practical role of Muhammad as logos is very important, and indeed may have influenced Sufis, for whom meeting the Prophet in one's physical body and in a conscious state was a fundamental doctrine, especially in the Sanusiya, the Tijaniya, the Idrisiya, and others. al-Samman's views on the logos of Muhammad can be also seen in his النفحات الإلهية. However, since his concern in this work is mostly with the Sammaniya Khalwatiya Tariqa, he does not discuss the theory to any extent. See Abdul Muttalib, Thesis, The Mystical Thought of Muhammad al-Samman, Young Publicists, 2007, Montreal, McGill University, page 99. The continuation to the coverage and speech on al-Samman's teachings, and now let us see his comment and views on the names Muhammad and Ahmad. al-Samman, in fact, makes only two designations that relate to the concept of light, namely Nuruhu, an Ahmadiyyan light, النور الأحمدي. It is clear in the first explanation that he is not explicitly mentioning Muhammad, but simply using the possessive pronoun of the third person, the who in Noruhu to allude or as reference to him, whereas in the second designation, he mentions another Quranic name of Muhammad, namely Ahmad, An-Nur al-Ahmadi. Thus, it is clear that he never connects the term light with the name Muhammad, although he does use the word Haqiqa in connection with Muhammadiyah. This is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence, in my opinion, but rather fits in with the Samman's belief in the everlasting name of the Prophet, namely Ahmad. The name Muhammad, interestingly, is considered by some Sufis as the prehistoric name of the Prophet, whereas Ahmad is the name he bears now and will bear for all eternity. Muhammad Nafis al-Binjari tells us that al-Samman believed that the name Ahmad is an element of the Prophet understood insofar as he inheres in everything in this world and universe, just as water is absorbed into the plants and trees. The letter Alif means to penetrate or to be absorbed, so that secrets of God's essence runs through every atom. The letter Alif in the word Ahmad means to penetrate, to be absorbed, so that the secrets of God's essence runs through every atom, while the letter Ha means to live, Hay, which means that the lives of everything in the world derive from him, Muhammad. Such an explanation seems very similar to that of Ahmad Sirhindi, 1624. He maintains that after the Prophet's death, his human individuation disappeared. Its symbols, the first meme, disappeared along with it and was replaced by an alif standing for divinity. Muhammad came in this way to be Ahmad. He was transformed into a purely spiritual being. In his salat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is known as النقطة دائرة الوجود, the circle center of the existence, the teacher Samman says, اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد نقطة دائرة الوجود وحيطة أفلاك مراغ الشهود. O Allah, pray for Sayyidina Muhammad, the center of the existence circle, the orbit's wall of uplifting steps, ladder to the divine witnesses. ألف الذات الساري سرها في كل ذرة، ها حياة العالم الذي منه مبدأه وإليه مغرة، ميم ملكك الذي لا يضاهى ودال ديموميتك التي لا تتناهى. So in this phrase, we find the connotation or the coin and the formation of Ahmad as in Alif الذات الساري سرها في كل ذرة. Alif stands for the first letter in Ahmad. Then we have Ha حياة العالم الذي منه مبدأه وإليه مقرة. So Ha in the second phrase is Ahmad, is the Ha in Ahmad. ميم ملكك الذي لا يضاهى, while mim here is the third letter in Ahmad, and finally دال ديموميتك التي لا تتناهى, while the dal is the last letter in the word Ahmad itself. So if we look carefully to this phrase, we find out that the Samman has composed his prayer, the circle center of the existence, to denote to the everlasting existence of the word of the name Ahmad here in the universe. Furthermore, the name Ahmad is actually found in the Quran. Also, it is also possible that Ahmad Sirhindi was inspired by Ain al-Quda al-Hamadani. Ain al-Quda relates the saying of the Prophet that affirms, "My name on the earth is Muhammad, while my heavenly name is Ahmad." The death of the Prophet, according to Ain al-Quda al-Hamadani, must be seen as ending his historical appearance as Muhammad. To support this idea, Ain al-Quda cites the verse of the Quran that states that Muhammad is only a messenger or God of God. Is only a messenger of God. Messenger of God like the previous messengers of God, and he will die like the others. The heavenly name of the Prophet Ahmad is also discussed by the great theologian Fakhruddin al-Razi. Al-Razi cites precisely the name Hadath as the one mentioned by Ain al-Quda above, which he states, "I am Ahmad in heaven, but Muhammad on the earth." But Al-Razi explains here this theory or this in another way. The Prophet is called Ahmad because he is the only man who praised God to an appropriate extent. Al-Razi mentions other names of the Prophet, namely Al-Hamd, praising, Al-Hamid, he who is praising, and Al-Mahmud, he who is praised. Al-Samman seems to have adopted this idea, but probably took it from Abdul Qani Nabulsi, who may in turn have been inspired by Ahmad Sirhindi. The reality of Muhammad al-Samman employs several other terms to identify the metaphysical existence of the Prophet. For example, the reality of realities, حقيقة الحقائق, the universal spirit, الروح الكلي, the Muhammadan reality, الحقيقة المحمدية. For further information, see Amani Muhammad al-Ubaid Abdul Muttalib. Both have written in this area. I mean here, the teachings of al-Samman, mainly the thesis of Abdul Muttalib. So the most information that I have read here in this part of al-Samman teaching have been taken from Abdul Muttalib's thesis, the mystical teachings of Muhammad al-Samman, in addition to Dr. Amani Muhammad al-Ubaid on the Sammaniya. The perfect man is the last topic that represent al-Samman major teachings. So I would like to discuss it here, but before we go further in our discussion and coverage to this rich area of discussion, I would like to say that Sufis have given more consent to this particular area. And in this regard, I would like to say that many authoring books titles have been presented and introduced by Sufis. I mean, here they have given the area of the perfect man so much concern, and a lot of authoring books have been written in this area. And among the most notable and illustrious writers among Sufis is the Grand Sheikh Muhyiddin ibn Arabi, followed by Sheikh Abdul Karim al-Jili and some others. So al-Samman is not exception in this concern. He has devoted the book and he has tackled the area of the perfect man with discussion as part of his teachings. However, the concept of the perfect man is dominant in the Sammaniya Tariqa, since it is the essence of acquiring individualism. Samman's teaching in this regard tell, if you pray on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, note that he is praying and not you, because all things were created from his light. You should pray on him until you are taken by him. At that level, you became perfect man. You became perfect man that inherited the Muhammadan reality. Like many of the 18th and early of 19th century orders, the Sammaniya doctrine is centered around the concept of the Muhammadan reality. The Prophet is the mediator between Allah and human beings. The Prophet's love is the base of faith, the door of knowledge, and the secret of power. Out of the Prophet's light, the creatures have been created, and out of his generosity, faith, people and trees live. By the Prophet's love, the slave obtains his needs and diminishes in his great light, reaching his ultimate goal. Thus, it could be said that the ultimate goal of the Sufi is reaching the Prophet. The Prophet is convinced as a light, Nur, that descends from Hadra Wahidiyya to the Hadra Ahadiyya. His light, the origin of all lights. His light, here, Muhammad light, is the origin of all lights acquired by the prophets or awliya. So for more information also in this area, I suggest referring to Amani Muhammad al-Abid, the Sammaniya Tariqa in the Sudan and Publicities, University of Khartoum, Faculty of Economic, 1997, page 92. There are two basic concepts dominating al-Samman's doctrine in this concern. Here on our speech on the perfect man. The first one is the reality of the Prophet, which he is reached by following his Sharia. The second one is the secret of the reality of the Prophet, which he is reached by crossing the sea of love. Anyone who follows the prophetic tradition historically and historically will cross the sea of love to find himself within the Prophet's majesty. Here one can find the influence of Ibn Arabi doctrine of the perfect man. So as part of al-Samman teachings, as we have said, the influence of Ibn Arabi on al-Samman's mainly the perfect man is so very clear. So al-Samman in this concern, as we have previously mentioned, he said, my approach is of Ibn Arabi and my tariqa is Qadri. So the influence of Ibn Arabi in this part of al-Samman teaching is so very clear. And by the way, this is also is a form of the Greek idea of logos. Ibn Arabi's logos represent the agent through which Allah can emerge from his absoluteness, his unknowableness into manifestations. The Prophet thus becomes the agent of Allah manifestation in the world. Muhammad, being the seal of the prophets, is seen as the most complete of these manifestations. So the Prophet Muhammad in this concern and in this regard is the most complete manifestation to the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This complete expression of Allah through man is the heart of the idea of the perfect man, a microcosmic being, a microcosmic being who unites the creator and created attributes of the essence, is at once the image of Allah, an archetype of the universe, having approaching the prophet's ideal at the ultimate goal of the disciple is a realization of the personality of the prophet. According to al-Samman, being attached to the prophet's majesty is divided into two types: visual attachment and spiritual attachment. The visual attachment itself is divided into two parts. Number one, following the teachings of the Prophet that are found in the Quran and the Sunnah. This is by fulfilling it through the four madhahib: Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanafi, and Hanbali. Al-Samman did not confine himself to only one madhab. He put more emphasis on ijtihad. For him, following of the ideal of the Prophet could not be obtained unless through guide, shaykh, or through attraction by God. So al-Samman here brought forth the idea of the attainment, reaching God. And in this concern, he said that so as to achieve the attainment, you have to have guide. This is in the first place. If the guide is not available to you, then you are with the second condition, that is the attraction by God. So according to Samman, this is might be the two ways in which the attainment will be fulfilled, either through guide or through attraction by God. Following the Prophet through love and contemplation or artistic temperament, while the spiritual attachment is divided into two parts. Number one, recall, istihdar of the Prophet vision and feeling piety, politeness, greatness, and majesty of the one of the Prophet's personality. Number two, istihdar of his complete and fine reality. According to Samman, the Prophet was created from the light of a Zat Ilahiyya, and sums its deeds, effects, influence on sequences. Moreover, al-Samman states that if the Prophet's status is that between the absolute reality and the realities of the created beings. For this reason, his status is above all creatures and under Allah alone. This is such were al-Samman's views on the idea and the concept, the notion of the perfect man.
الأصل نور من نور النخبة روح وحام، متنقل في أصلاب أجداده والأرحام.